Hello friends, today we're going to talk about conditional formatting. Conditional formatting is very powerful because it allows us to highlight the data points. What I'm going to show in this video is how we can make our conditional formatting solution more scalable. We will look into a Power BI file where a conditional formatting is applied, and we will go through the process how we can make it scalable so that if the business need change on conditional formatting, that we don't have to come back and make the changes in Power BI report or the file, but rather we will drive the conditional formatting from the external data. In this video, I'm going to show how to store uh, conditional formatting metadata outside Power BI so that we can have a scalable solution. Let's get to Power BI. Here I have a simple report. I'm not going into the model and all other things. So basically what we have is sales versus budget by month. Here we are showing the sales by month, and then we also have the percentage of budget, and here we are showing it by territory, here by product, and here by country. So the ask here is if the sales against the budget is above certain threshold, show in a different color. If it is between a certain range, then show a different color, and below something is different color. So simple conditional formatting. The one way we always do, and what we do here is just if we look into, we go into our value, and then in a visual, and in this case is a bar graph. We go to data colors, and then we can apply the changes here. We can say okay, rules, and then I have a measure which is percentage of budget, which calculate what's up, and we can say here is if it's above 90% and maximum is then show let's say blue. Otherwise if it's below, let's say minimum is whatever the minimum percent turned out to be. If it is less than 0.9, then show red. So there's two rules. Above 90 is blue, otherwise red. So this visual will change as we can see. If I hover over and the percentage is 89.38, you can see on the tooltip, and that's why it's red. And in this case it's 94.04, and that's why it is blue. Now the case is if we have to apply the same rule on different visuals, it means we have to go and click on FX and apply the rules again. Now the challenge with that is, that's perfectly fine. The challenge with that is if the business rule changes, let's say above 90% is green, even the color changes, or between 50 to 90 is yellow, and below 50 is red. So what does that means is we have to come to the each visual and make the change in the rules, which is very cumbersome process. So what we can do here is we can get a little bit smarter, and we can write our measure and then use that measure to apply the conditional formatting. So for example, let's write a measure here quickly. Let's call it come on, let's call it sales versus budget color. So here we can have, okay, I have what is my sales versus budget percentage value. So I already have a measure for that percentage of budget, and now here I can say switch true. So my condition would be if my variable what I stored is greater than 0.9, 0.9 means 90%, then it is, let's say, green, and if it is above 70, let's say yellow, and otherwise it is red. So you can use the hex code as well. Now we have a measure which has the business rules applied in it, which is good. Now we can go back to our conditional formatting on this particular visual. Go to FX. Instead of using the rules, now we can use the field value, and then we can use sales versus budget color, what we created, and go OK. And now in this case, what will happen, it is now based on the measure, it is showing the colors, which is great. And I can come to this visual as well and use the same measure here. It means I don't have to apply the rules again and manually change them. I can pick the same sales versus budget color, and it would work perfectly fine. Now it is working. So what does this means is it give us a flexibility where if I need to change the color or whatever the business rule changes, we don't need to come to the each visual. We can come back to our measure. Let's say they say, okay, anything above 50 is let's say I don't know, blue color, otherwise it is red. So I change it to the in my measure, and it will be applied against all the visuals where this has been changed. So perfect. So here we have a blue which is above 50 and below 70, and this is above 70, below 90, and here we can see some red colors because they are below 50. So this is great at this point. Like, this is awesome because now we have the measure which contains the business rules, and if we change the measure, it changes the color wherever it is applied. So it's very, very scalable already. The point here in this video, what I want to make is, if the business rules changes tomorrow, what is going to happen is that if say, okay, below 50, between 30 and 50 should be a pink color, for example, and anything below 30 is a red color. It means if this report is already published, or wherever this measure has been created, maybe in a Power BI data set, you have to open the Power BI data set or change the measure, republish the report or the data set to have the changes take effect and to see the changes, which can be a cumbersome process, which can be depending on it's not that straightforward, but we can make it even better. How we can make it better? So what we can do here is, which I already did here, is I have an Excel file where I have stored my color data. So let me pull my Excel file which I am using. All right, here I have an Excel file where I'm storing the metadata. So what I'm doing here is just a key column. We will talk about that, why that is there. But I have a label just for the reference purpose. So it's less than 60%. This is the color. So what we have are two columns, which is min and max. So what we're saying is, if it is between this range, our percentage, then use this color. If our percentage is between this range, then use this color, and so forth, so on. Now what I'm doing is bringing this Excel file. Let's say this Excel file is stored in SharePoint or OneDrive for Business, or maybe this is not an Excel file. This could be a SharePoint list, wherever you are storing this data. So we have this data, metadata stored, where we given the range and also the color. So we bring this sheet in our Power BI report. I already imported it in through the Power Query. It's here. So we have that sheet in here. What we can do is, now we can, instead of putting the logic here about those colors, what we can do here is, so instead of having the logic built in here in the measure, what we can do is we can use we can take that table which we brought it from Excel file, and then use that to find out what color we need. So let's do that. What changes we will make to this measure? So I have a percentage of budget. So now I will get the color from the file, what the measure would be. So that will be calculate. So we're going to get the max of budget color. So sorry, that would be color column. So we're going to get the color column, but what color column we're going to pick? We are going to pick the color column based on the percent what falls within that range, min and max. So how are we going to do that? So we're going to do sales versus budget is greater than equal to our budget color, is that the table name? Budget, that's the name of the table. Budget color minimum is greater than the minimum value, and sorry, sales versus budget is less than equal to max value. So what this will return? This will return the color based on the percentage. So if we enter here, okay, now what you will see immediately, these colors are changed. Why these colors are changed now? Because these are the hex code which we are reading from a Excel file. If I show you guys the, if I bring that on the tooltip, percentage sales versus budget color, just to see what the value we return. So if we hover over any data point, so here it is returning sales versus budget color, that hex code based on the 89%. So wherever, so 89.38%, it means if we look into 89.3% is fall between 80 to 95 range. So this is the color we are getting. Now, having said that, if I go back to my Excel sheet, and let's say tomorrow business rule changes and they want another range or something, and I go, okay, they say it's, let's say it is between 60% to 70%. We're going to give the range 60, but we have to be very careful that we don't overlap these ranges to 70%. Let's say the color is pink. I'm going to use, I hope there's a pink color, and then so this label will be then 70% to 80%, and this will be 70 to 80%. So what we would change here is 60 to 70% is pink, and 7 to 80% is whatever this color is, fifth. So now if I save this file, and I'm reading, stored it on my local computer, and go back and refresh my budget color table, so those changes will now take effect depending on where the business rules turns out to be. Let's see if there's any pink color show up. Okay, here you go. So now we have a pink. So this one is between that 60 to 70% range. So we have the pink color, as you can see on the tooltip, and here we have red, and here we have green. And now we can come to any visual. If I am on this visual, I can go to data colors, effects, and again the same thing. I already have the measure, which is sales versus budget color, and the sale conditional formatting rules will be applied on this. Okay, we have some pink, we have some red, some green, dark green, depending on the range. I hope you find this video useful. Now with this video, you can have your conditional formatting data stored in some external source or Microsoft SharePoint list or Excel file or wherever it works for you guys. If the business rule changes, we go into our external file, we make the changes in there, and then we just simply refresh the data set. If this was a live report and we have to change the conditional formatting, I will go into my Excel file, make the changes, and refresh Power BI data set, and all those changes will immediately reflect in my reports. It's much more easier. We don't have to reopen our file and change the measures and change the business rules or whatever those are, and simply changing the metadata will have the direct impact on the report. There will be another video I will be continuing from this video, will make it a little bit better for the users to have a better user experience. Stay tuned, subscribe to my channel. Until next video, have a good day. Bye for now.